Into the O-zone with Timmy Leroy in a scoreless game. Leroy gets up in front, and it hits off the left pad of Jackson. Still scoreless as that shot does not fit through. Leroy gets it back in the slot and sends one through the 5-hole for a score. Timmy Leroy starts the scoring off on senior night, and Nebraska leads it 1-0. Wooster stops on the left wing, looking for someone to give it to. Handoff by Mia, good screen. Now in the short right corner, he matches up with Saxon. Feeds up top, Williams, top of the arc, 3! He connects, and the Huskers have their first lead of the ballgame. 5 up front for the Husker defense. Garber's in the shotgun, 3rd and 9. Gets the snap, runs out of time, fires it deep to the right side, and it's caught over the shoulder and brought down around the 20-yard line. Quasi Gilmer, the true freshman, makes the catch for a big gain down the right side all the way to the Husker 21-yard line. 5, 6, and 7 with Caden Kirschenbaum leading the way for this Pippins offense in the second. Righty-righty matchup as the Montana State Billings product waits for his first offering. It comes in, and Kirschenbaum smokes this one deep to left field, and it is gone. Caden Kirschenbaum, his second home run of the season, and Yakima Valley leads 1-0. Now over to the right side, JaMychal Davis charges into the paint, gets it out to Martini, left wing 3, up in the air and down. Zach Martini pounds his chest and gives Rutgers the lead, 67-65. 9 minutes, 12 seconds and counting second half. Huskers methodical offensively here tonight. Here's Jackson Beach from the midpoint, sends one toward the net right side and scores! 3-0 lead as Jackson Beach scores for his 5th straight game. 2nd and 9 with 12:55 and counting. 10-0 lead for UCLA on the road as the Huskers start to drive from their own 41. Raiola under center with Ramir Johnson in the backfield. Fakes the handoff, looking to throw. He's got time, winding up deep, and he's going deep. One-on-one with Ja'Cory Barney Jr., who lays out and makes the catch. And that moves the Huskers all the way down to the 20-yard line. Came into this series with hits in 4 of the last 5 games for the Gophers. Kamenson, here's a 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Goddard down low swinging, and Hannah Kamenson works out of the inning and only allows 1 run in a dangerous scenario. Raiola claps his hands, looks to throw, fader, near side pylon, end zone for Nair, touchdown! Dylan Harper and Bryce Williams one-on-one, feed to the right corner, Ace Bailey. Skip pass into the near corner, Dylan Grant launches a long jumper, and it's all twine for Rutgers. A 3 in the left corner, and Dylan Grant connects. 35-31 with 4:18 left first half. Huskers need some offense here. Ball looks to close the door on the Gophers. No balls and 2 strikes. Here it comes. Swing and a miss down low. Strikeout number 9 in the circle for the Husker pitching staff. And it's an 8-3 victory to take their first series in conference play in 2025. 1st and 10 from the 10. The sweep to the left side, Barney with Blorkers to the left, and he's into the end zone. The first touchdown of Ja'Cory Barney's Husker career. 77 for St. Mary's, 74 for Nebraska. They need a 3 to send it to overtime.
Probably going to see some sort of rub screen to get Williams open.
Gary will inbound. He'll run the sideline. Gets it to Williams with 4. Williams across the timeline with 3. Williams to the right wing. Contested 3 is up and short. And St. Mary's wins it in Sioux Falls. Wooster stops on the left wing, looking for someone to give it to. Handoff by Mia. Good screen. Now in the short right corner, he matches up with Saxon. Feeds up top. Williams, top of the arc. 3! He connects, and the Huskers have their first lead of the ballgame.
Listen to this crowd get on their feet. They've been waiting for this for a long time. It may have taken 21 minutes, but Nebraska's in front in South Dakota.
48-46 as Marshallonis stops short left corner, hands off to Saxon. He puts a shoulder into the paint against Mia and hooks up the layup with his right hand. Tied up at 48, 18-49 and counting, second half. Wooster picks his dribble up left wing, now feeds the post to Bryce Williams. He spins as Marshallonis pulled the chair on him, nearly lost the basketball, but was fouled. So Bryce Williams stops the clock at 18:41 left in this ball game, still tied at 48.
Yeah, and the foul goes on Mitchell Saxon down there underneath. Bryce Williams really trying to get a shot up. It was called on the floor, though, so Nebraska will have the inbound. I was confused for a second. My book, I had St. Mary's at 50, but I forgot to take away the overturned goaltend, so we're square at 48.
Wooster inbounds from under the net to Jawan Gary, who posts up top. Gives it on a handoff to Berke Buchtenschel. His second drive to the left side in this half. He hands it off to Williams with less than 10 to shoot on the shot clock. Another post touch up high for Braxton Mia. He's on the right wing with 4. Wooster pulls the right wing 3 with 2 on the shot clock. Off the back iron. Huskers grab a second chance with Gary. Buchtenschel spins in the paint, put his shoulder into a man, and has a bucket. Huskers, the first to 50 here in South Dakota. As Buchtenschel hits the layup, they lead by 2 with 18 to go in this ball game. Jordan Ross up top straight away to Saxon. Now feeds underneath. Saxon moves his feet, no travel called. Barrett driving in against Mia, and a quick whistle, and they call a foul, I believe, on Braxton Mia. He had his hands up in the sky, and no, maybe they'll call it on Jawan Gary.
Yeah, they called it underneath, away from the basketball. Jawan Gary had his hands draped over Saxon. The reason for no travel, I was watching our officiating crew down there, and Tony Padilla signaled that Saxon didn't have possession of the ball, and so he could not travel. It's a judgment call. It's definitely one that Nebraska fans would have liked to have back.
So with that foul, Gary heads to the sideline. It's Connor Asijan stepping onto the parquet floor at the Pentagon. As he comes off the bench, Marshallonis tries to send it into the post to Morauskas. Pass skipped away for a moment. Back to Barrett with 5 on the shot clock. Deep on the left wing, Marshallonis, the conference player of the year, needs some magic. Floats it up with his left hand. It's in the goal and an offensive interference as Barrett reached up in the cookie jar to put that one through. So the basket won't count. 50-48, Huskers still lead with the 2-point advantage. 17:35 to go in this basketball game. Wooster will give it up to Williams, who will slowly bring it across midcourt, working left to right. Huskers in the all-white uniforms. Williams hands off to the left side to Wooster. Buchtenschel all alone straight away, and he couldn't hit the 3. Missed it everything over to the left side. Quickly other way, Marshallonis gets into the paint, was reached in on and fouled. As Bryce Williams gets credited with the foul.
Yeah, that's a tough foul because now Bryce Williams and Jawan Gary both with 3 personals. Jawan Gary currently sits on the bench. Bryce Williams, leading scorer for Nebraska. They're going to have to play it safe.
Ross off the inbound, deep on the left wing. Rejects the screen from Saxon to the right. Picked his dribble up, though, so he has to give it to Mitchell Saxon, who picks his dribble up. Long entry pass to Morauskas. The height advantage over Wooster. Second, third chance doesn't fall. Good defense inside by Nebraska. Connor Asijan comes away with the basketball. Now gives it to Bryce Williams, right side. Williams charges into the paint. Puts up a tough layup. Rims in and out over Morauskas. Nearly had 20 points right there for Bryce Williams as Ross drew contact, no foul called, and Buchtenschel with a fist pump toward his sideline as he bodied up against the Gale ball handler and forced the turnover. Still 50-48 with 16:42 to go in the second half. Nebraska manages the basketball with the lead. Braxton Mia holds at the top of the arc, gives it a handoff to Asijan. His high arcing 3 bounces off the front of the rim twice. Buchtenschel grabs the rebound, back up and in. Berke Buchtenschel with a flex to the Husker crowd at the Pentagon, and we head into a timeout. Huskers lead 52-48 here in South Dakota. We'll have more coming up right after this on KRNU. As we reset here, there's 1 down top of the first, scoreless game, but 2 in scoring position. Tobias at third and Taylor Kraft sits at second. Right-handed hitter and third baseman Kayla Chavez to the plate. First pitch from Kamenzen is down and in over the toes of Kayla Chavez. Chavez, the senior, terrific defender as well, a former All-Big Ten defensive team honoree as a freshman. 1-0 pitch, off speed, right over the plate for a called strike. Beautiful pitch from Hannah Kamenzen right there.
Beautiful pitch, as you said, kind of buckled Valencia's knees there, or excuse me, Chavez's knees, and really she had no idea what was coming at her.
1-1, here it comes, down the middle, and it's sent back over the top of Kamenzen for a base hit, and that scores 1 run for Minnesota. Easy trot over to home by Tobias. It's an RBI single from Kayla Chavez, and Minnesota leads it 1-0 in the top of the first with 1 out.
This is just about as good of a start as you could have asked for, short of a couple of homers. For the Golden Gophers here, they're making great contact, and they're getting great launch angles on these hard-hit balls. They're getting them right over the infielders, but they're dropping right in front of the outfielders, so there's just no play to be made. And so now we have 1 run scored here for the Gophers, runners at the corners, and not a great situation here for Kamenzen on the mound.
And Taylor Kraft moved from second to third as head coach Rhonda Revelle for Nebraska came onto the field to have a quick chat with Hannah Kamenzen, as this appearance has kind of gotten away from her in the top of the first. Still just 1-0, but 3 pretty hard hit balls and only 1 out recorded. Runner at third is Taylor Kraft. Chavez, after that RBI single, sits at first. Here's Jessa Snippis, the designated player. First pitch comes in down low for a ball. Snippis, 10 hits on the year, 12 RBIs. Could find another one right here to give Minnesota a 2-0 lead with that runner over at third. Kamenzen sends the 1-0 pitch. Bat on the shoulder, and it's called strike as Snippis watches it glide by her waistline. Kamenzen taking a look over at first. Gives a signal to Jordy Ball, the first baseman here today, as the Huskers look to get out of the top of the first and limit the damage to 1. 1-1 pitch comes in, a bit outside, 2-1. Kamenzen, her numbers on the year pretty solid. 3.41 ERA, a 3-2 record as well. But so far, her 9th start in 2025, a bit shaky. 2 balls and a strike. Kamenzen winds and delivers a swing and a miss down in the dirt as Snippis went reaching down there to even the count at 2-2.
This is a good recovery point here for Kamenzen. She just needs to stay within what she knows and repeat there. Good confidence boost on the swing and miss.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Kamenzen steps and delivers, and another swing and a miss down low as she gets Snippis put away for the 2nd out of the inning. Still runners at the corners in a 1-0 game, top of the first inning. But the Husker defense 1 out away from limiting the damage to only 1 run. And now we'll see if Jay Cosgriff can keep the offense out there for Minnesota. Right-handed batter hitting .250. Off-speed pitch comes in from Kamenzen over the dish for a strike.
Like I said, she just needs to repeat what she did on that last at-bat. First strikeout. It's a good way to reset and get back into her mojo.
A 1 pitch, a fastball this time, right over the dish again for strike 2. 0-2 with 2 down as the Huskers try to work out of this runners at the corner scenario defensively. We've seen a couple of singles and a double this inning, but Kamenzen looking to keep it 1-0. The 0-2 pitch, she winds and deals. This one's a bit outside. 1-2. Cosgriff, a true freshman coming from the state of California to play softball for the Gophers. Came into this series with hits in 4 of the last 5 games for the Gophers. Kamenzen, here's a 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Got her down low swinging, and Hannah Kamenzen works out of the inning and only allows 1 run in a dangerous scenario. The Huskers give up 3 hits, 1 run, and no errors, and a couple of strikeouts wrap up the top of the first. We'll see the Husker bats for the first time right after this on KRNU. 5 up front for the Husker defense. Garber's in the shotgun, 3rd and 9. Gets the snap, runs out of time, fires it deep to the right side, and it's caught over the shoulder and brought down around the 20-yard line. Quasi Gilmer, the true freshman, makes the catch for a big gain down the right side all the way to the Husker 21-yard line.
Yeah, Gilmer ran a slant route there at the end of his run and just completely left the sight of the Nebraska safety. Had about 2 yards of separation before he made the catch over his shoulder. Great catch, by the way. Oh, my goodness.
25-yard completion from Ethan Garbers, and he's got the Bruins marching toward the Husker red zone. Officially spotted at the 21, and he's under center on 1st and 10. TJ Harden in the backfield gets the snap. It's an end around this time to Keegan Jones as he takes it across the left side and near the 10-yard line.
Plenty of room to run there and laterally almost the entire length of the field towards the sideline. He's able to pull a 9-yard gain right as he turned the corner. Pushed out of bounds at the 12.
Jones adds 9, gets the Bruins inside the red zone. 2nd and 1 coming up as UCLA breaks the huddle. Garbers in the shotgun with Harden to his right. Points out something defensively as the Huskers have 5 down up in front. Bunch set. Garbers gets the snap. Flag goes flying. And here's the first penalty of the game. It'll be a false start on the blue and gold offense.
This will be an opportunity the Nebraska defense is going to really want to take advantage of. This is the first sign of slowdown for this Bruins offense since the game started. They've been marching right down the field. Now Nebraska maybe has a chance to take advantage of a quick misstep. Coach Foster, in his media availability this week, he said discipline's his #1 focus at all times. He wants a disciplined, well-functioning team. And discipline is going to be about everything it takes for the Bruins to beat the Huskers today.
5 yards back after the false start brings up 2nd and 6 from the 17. Handoff over to the left side. It's TJ Harden churning ahead across the 10-yard line. Brought down by a group of Husker tacklers. John Bullock in there first. And looks like about a gain of 5 on that carry to the left side, spotted on the left hash mark.
TJ Harden coming into today had 180 yards with 62 attempts, so he has been a pretty important part of the UCLA offense despite their rushing struggles. Like we said earlier, only about rushing 64 yards per game, but the Bruins establishing the run game quickly today against the Huskers.
1st and goal from the 8-yard line now. Garbers gets the snap, hands off up the middle. Harden is met by a bunch of Husker tacklers. Marquise Buford coming in from that cornerback position to make the stop. No gain on the carry up the middle.
On top of the pile, like you said, was Marquise Buford Jr., but as well in the pile, John Bullock, the Nebraska native from Omaha. He's been a big part of this Nebraska defense this year. A former walk-on who then got his scholarship. Big player for the Nebraska defense.
2nd and goal from the 8-yard line. Still scoreless, 7:56 to go, first quarter. Garbers points out the defense, moves a man in motion. That's Gilmer. He had the big 20-yard catch earlier on the drive. Garbers looking to throw, contested, and overthrown to the right side of the end zone. It was J. Michael Sturtevant trying to get open toward that near side front pylon, but it was Sierra Wright with the good coverage.
Sierra Wright, so far doing well for the Husker defense coming in today in relief from Malcolm Hartzog Jr. Just getting enough contact there at the end of the play. Shuffle him around, move that receiver to where he can't grab the ball. And now it's a very important 3rd down.
Sierra Wright, the Los Angeles native, playing against UCLA here today in Lincoln. Big 3rd and goal on the first drive of the game. Garbers in the shotgun. 3 receivers to his right. He's got Harden on his left hip. Gets the snap, looking to throw. Under pressure. Now rolls to the left side. Still being chased by Ty Robinson. He gets pushed out of bounds. Short gain maybe to the left side, but it was Robinson who chased him out of bounds. Only a 1-yard gain on that short carries for Ethan Garbers. And that brings up 4th and 7 from the 7. Field goal unit coming out.
Nebraska finally getting some of that pressure on Garbers that we mentioned. Pushing a scramble. Garbers good at finding the sideline, but Nebraska able to shut down the run quickly.
So the sophomore kicker from San Diego, Mateen Baghani, comes out to kick from the left hash. 24-yard field goal attempt coming up. This one comes up in the air, and it is good. UCLA ends a long drive that takes 8 minutes even off the clock and take a 3-0 lead on the first drive of the game. Husker offense will come out after the kickoff, but it's 3-0 UCLA on the road against the Huskers here on KRNU. Martison has it on the near side, works it to the left circle, sends one toward the net, good deflection, puck still loose in front as now it tumbles to the corner. Good chance that time by Nebraska, stays 2-0 though with 18:50 to go in the second period. Now towing the line is Leroy. Leroy dumps it down backhanded on the left corner. Looking for an angle there is Hunter Brickle as he feeds it behind the net to Leroy. He works on the right circle, spins around and tries to center it for Martison. That pass is intercepted by Charles Brownell. For Drake and how they come from left to right and dumping it into Nebraska territory. They'll make one change with Garcia heading to the bench as Nebraska sends it up to the neutral zone. Davis tries to chase it down against Davis by of Drake. Puck behind the Bulldog net with 18:18 to go, second period. Still 2-0. Nebraska trying to add on to it though as they had it in the zone for a moment. But now here comes Drake. 1-on-2 break. That shot goes right into the glove of Jacob Morgan and he'll dump it down to a teammate. Centering pass, that time trying to bring it in transition, is intercepted and dumped back into Nebraska zone by Summerness. As Jay Cuvedo has it on his stick in center ice, tries to kick it across to Adamski. He'll backhand it, tumbling toward the net, and Cole Jackson will cover up to freeze the puck with 17:50 to go, second period. 2-0 lead for Nebraska, both of them by sophomore Timmy Leroy, if you're just joining us. As he continues to be an impactful offensive player for the team in white tonight, Nebraska Cornhuskers. Nate Weber steps to the dot and gets ready for the face-off against Aguilar. Nebraska wins it back. That shot by Beach misses wide to the left, and here's Dugan now. Dugan behind the net, dumps it down below the goal line. Weber looking for an angle over to the far side. Weber still dumps it down below, looking for Dugan as he has it in the corner. Dugan backs it out toward the right circle. Now a backhand below the goal line to Weber. They keep it behind the shoulders of Cole Jackson. Huskers methodical offensively here tonight. Here's Jackson Beach from the midpoint. Sends one toward the net, right side, and scores! 3-0 lead as Jackson Beach scores for his 5th straight game. What a freshman Nebraska has. 17:21 left, second period, and Nebraska leads it 3-0 on senior night. As the 3 goals have come from a freshman and a sophomore. The future is bright here in Lincoln as we get set for another face-off. Nebraska looking to extend on this 3-0 advantage. Face-off won back by Stadler. Now it's Merritt, stretches it up in front to Lucius, deflects off of his stick, so Drake tries to get it out of their zone. Pass intercepted though by Stadler. Nebraska keeps it in the O-zone. Stadler from the left circle, got it away from his stick though as he whiffed on the shot. Merritt gloves it and brings it back down from the top of the left circle. Sends one toward the net, deflection, not that time though by Stadler. Still 3-0, 16:55 to go, second period. Nebraska has the advantage, trying to add on to it. Below the goal line, Huskers manage the puck. Now back up top to the left point. Merritt's clapper deflected over to the right side by Cole Jackson. Back to Merritt from the left point. He gets 2 Drake defenders in front of him. Puck is loose in front of the crease, poked at it, but covered up by Cole Jackson to stop the clock and avoid another one in the back of the net. 16:39 and counting, second period. Nebraska leads it 3-0. So with the 3-goal advantage, Nebraska will head to the dot with Hunter Brickle for the face-off. Leroy backs it out and now spins toward the left circle. Taking it with himself below the goal line. Tries to find an angle. Had Martison over there in the slot if he wanted him. Now it's down low. Nebraska works it over to Leroy on a cross-ice pass. He's on the left point now. Leroy goes in and out and moves around Charles Brownell. Now in the middle of the slot. Sends one toward the net. And it's saved by Cole Jackson as he eats that one alive with 16:17 to go. Nearly a hat trick right there by Timmy Leroy.